The tour is gonna be at the beginning. We will visit the Acropolis, the archaeological site, and then we will go to Mars Hill. We have to do it like this because we have a time slot. The tickets are not for the full day. So in order not to lose the tickets to the top of the Acropolis, we'll do it like this. So afterwards at Mars Hill, we will not be stressed. We have to be in a hurry and things like this. Okay. And after that, we by bus, we will make the driving tour, and we will end up close to one of the entrances to the traditional area, to Plaka, where someone from the agency will wait for you to take you to the restaurant, which means that there we will say goodbye. Okay. Now, because as you can see, as usual, we have a lot of traffic, we grab the opportunity, and I will tell you a few historical information in order not to be obliged to tell you this at the spot. At the spot it will be more the topography, you will take pictures, I will show you the buildings and everything. So, Acropolis, as I've told you, it's a general term and means fortress. It's not the highest spot of the city, because the highest spot of the city, you can see it in front of us to the left. It's Lycabettus Hill. Can you see it? You can see the top of it. The Acropolis is lower, but it had two important things which were necessary in order to be considered a hill as a fortress. Natural fortification, you will see that are very steep, the slopes of the Acropolis, and drinkable water on the top of it. So, during prehistoric times, we have settlement on the top of the Acropolis, and at the end of the prehistoric times, between the 6th, 17th and 12th century BC, there on the top of the Acropolis will be the palace of the king. From the 12th century and on, the 12th century BC and on until the end of antiquity, the top of the Acropolis will be the religious center of the city. And this is how you have to remember it. As a religious center of the city, consecrated to the goddess Athena. Athena was the protector of the city. And what Greek mythology says? Greek mythology says that Zeus, the god of the gods, fell in love with the goddess of wisdom, with Metis. And they slept together, she got pregnant, and someone told Zeus that she was to give him a son who would dethrone him. So Zeus got very stressed and decided to find a solution to resolve the problem, to get rid of this child. So he convinced his mistress to transform into a mosquito. She transformed into a mosquito, and Zeus grabbed the opportunity and swallowed the mosquito. After 9 months, Zeus started having headaches, and he asked his son Hephaestus, the god of fire, to find a solution. So Hephaestus came with an axe and split open his father's head.
Oh.
From there came out
A mosquito.
Athena.
Oh.
So Athena was born in a very bizarre way.
Yes.
First of all, from the head of a man, from the god of the gods. And this is the reason why they say that she became the goddess of wisdom, because she took all the wisdom of her father coming out from his head, and also all the wisdom of the mother that Zeus swallowed. Now Greek mythology says that the uncle of Athena, the god of the sea, Poseidon, and Athena quarreled for the control of this land. And it was decided that each god will reveal what can offer to the city. And the locals, the citizens, will choose the best gift. So the goddess Athena offered an olive tree, symbol of prosperity during times of peace, and Poseidon offered a horse, a white horse, and salt water, symbols of victory during times of war. Athena won, so the city was consecrated to her, and it was baptized after her name, Athens.
Oh.
Now, everything that we will see on the top of the Acropolis, not on the slopes, but on the top, belongs to the best moment of ancient Greek civilization, which means 5th century BC, which was called also Golden Age at the times of the politician Pericles. This century, the 5th century BC, started with the victorious war for the Greeks against the Persians. Imagine how important was this Greek victory that even you commemorate. Do you know how you commemorate this Greek victory? Exactly, with the foot race of marathon. Marathon, it's a place, and it's 46 kilometers from the center of Athens. What happened was that the Persians at that time, they had the most mighty army in the ancient world, and they decided to conquer Greece. And they decided to start from the city-state of Athens, because here they had friends and they thought that they will support them. So the Athenians were informed that the Persians were coming. The first thing they did was to ask for the help of the other city-states, of the other Greek city-states. But nobody wanted to help because they were afraid. So at that moment, the Athenians took a decision which changed the concept, not only changed the history of the world. They said, okay, we will fight alone against the Persians, which was, a decision of crazy people, because according to the statistics, it was hopeless. They were just a handful of people. And they decided to make the battle at Marathon. And there in Marathon, something like a miracle happened. The Athenians won. After this victory, they've sent a soldier to run from Marathon to the Agora, to the marketplace of Athens, to convey the message of the victory. The soldier arrived, he said, "We won," and he died. In honor of this, we have the marathon foot race. After that, the Persians left, and the son of the Persian king of Darius came back after 10 years, Xerxes, following a different way to approach to Greece from the north, in order to take revenge of the Greeks for this defeat in Marathon. And now, in this second expedition of the Persians against Greece, all the Greeks together fought against the Persians, because in Marathon the Athenians changed the concept of the invincible Persian army. This was a very important thing that happened there. So in Thermopylae, you already know, the Spartans the general Leonidas was at the head of the Greek united army. there because of a traitor. The Persians won. The Greek army had the information that someone sold to the Persians a secret path in the mountains, so it was for sure that the Persians will win. The general Leonidas sent the other Greeks to their cities, telling them to defend their cities, and they will stay there, they will remain there, defending the strait, following the laws of their city. The bravery, the brave of the soldiers, the Spartan soldiers, they die, all of them, defending the strait, spread in the whole of Greece, in all the Greek cities, and this gave them moral strength to continue the war. So we can see the defeat of the Spartans in Thermopylae at first sight as a defeat, but in a different perspective it was a big victory, because this sacrifice of the Spartans gave moral strength to the Greeks to continue the war. So the Persians approached to Athens. The Athenians were informed that the Persians were coming. The Athenians decided to evacuate the city, to take their families to the island of Salamina. They put in front of Salamina the war fleet, and the Persians took advantage that the city was abandoned, and they went to the top of the Acropolis. They destroyed all the temples. We have information that the Athenians could see from the island of Salamina the flames of the catastrophe, and after that the Persians approached to Salamina with a decision to make a naval battle. In the naval battle of Salamina in the 480, it was the end of the war. It was the complete catastrophe of the Persians. They lost all their fleet, and it was the first time in human history that a war was decided by a naval battle. After this, now I want to tell you why it was so important, the Greek victory in this war, and this is the reason why even you commemorate it. The important thing is, in this victory, it's how the Greeks explained the victory. They've said that we won despite that we were a handful of people, because we were free citizens fighting for our freedom. So the Greeks were the first in human history who realized that how much power can generate the human being when it's free and he decides to do something. So it's not a coincidence that after the war in Athens we will have democracy, because the Athenians will say, we don't need kings to rule our lives. We can rule our lives with the help of the gods. So after the war we will have democracy with the great politician Pericles, and in honor of Athena, in order to thank her support in the Persian war, they built the Parthenon, which is the most important of the monuments that you will see on the top of the Acropolis. The one who had the inspiration to build this temple was Pericles, and he used one of the greatest artists who was actually a friend of him, of humanity, Phidias. You know, Pericles had very good friends, the philosopher Socrates and the great artist Phidias. So Phidias was the general supervisor of the constructions at the Acropolis. He was mainly a sculptor, but he was also a painter and an architect. It's incredible, this masterpiece, the Parthenon, it was finished only in 8 years, which is something that even today they cannot understand how they did this. They say that one of the reasons why they made it to finish this unique construction in 7 years is that the people who work in this, they were volunteers. They were paid, but they were volunteers. Even the slaves were volunteers and they were paid. People from all around Greece, they came to help in this construction. They've needed, it took them 5 more years to finish the sculptures.
What year was that?
This was from the 447 to the 438 BC.
437,
Nothing to do with the times of Paul. Even the Roman buildings that you will see at the slope of the Acropolis, like the concert hall, the Roman concert hall, are of the 2nd century AD. What is related with St. Paul is Mars Hill, the Mars Hill that we will see afterwards, which was the superior, it was where they judged the criminals, and also there it was judged if a different religion or a different god could be included in the Greek gods. So there, the foreigner who was carrying this new concept had to make a speech to explain about the new god. This is the reason why Paul was invited, which is very interesting. Paul was invited in Mars Hill to speak about the new God. But, you know, when he started talking about the resurrection, the Athenians they say, okay, leave it. We have many things to sort out. You better come another day. And finally, 2 persons were converted into Christians. A woman, Damaris, and one of the jurors of this trial of the Mars Hill. And this is the reason why Paul will make a comment about the Athenians. He will say that are the only ones that you cannot convince with miracles, only with wisdom. Have in mind that Athens was a place where there was democracy. I mean, there was the philosophical thinking. I mean, every new idea was welcome. You know, they were familiar with hearing new things. Perhaps they could accept it, they would like it or not, but they were not afraid of the new things. This is very special about the Athenians. Now in Marathon, the Athenians told to their slaves, if you fight with us, you will win your freedom. The Persians told to the slaves, if you don't fight, we kill you. So for the Athenians it was clear that this is about the power of the human being when it's willing something.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, this is the most important thing about the monuments that you will see. And the Parthenon, it's the reflection of those beliefs that freedom, the free will can make miracles.
I love that. Hey, Fanny, can you pause for a second? The back of the bus says they're getting a little chilly. Too cold back there?
You want to lower the...
Yeah, it's just a
Okay.
little bit warmer.